Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Keeper Day. I figured in honor of Keeper Day 2023, I went through each of our league managers and I selected the most likely person that all of our managers would keep this year, just to kind of get everyone in the spirit of things of selecting their keepers today. I just went in order, just like the draft selection, in order of last year's standings. So first is going to be Trev. Now, Trev's drafted this guy pretty much every year since he's been available. Top prospect, but continues to underperform. But Trev keeps going after him anyway. And that's going to be no other than Ke'Bryan Hayes. So we'll see if Trev can keep the streak going this year. Next is going to be Scotty, our runner-up from last year. It's well documented how well or how much he adores the current management style of the Giants' president of baseball operations. So if he could keep anybody, it would be Farhan Zaidi. Look at that smile. Next is going to be Cluffy. You know, historically in baseball and football, Cluffy has always wanted reliable, safe players, and they tend to be kind of old, vanilla, and boring. And so the person that Ryan would most likely want to keep is going to be Adam Wainwright, 41-year-old starter for the Cardinals and Team USA. Next is going to be Sabo. Now, this one's a little bit twofold. I think I've introduced this to the group before, but Sabo used to have quite the hairdo. And so the person that he would most likely want to keep is his inspiration, which would be his lookalike, and that's current Giants pitcher Sean Manaea. Look at that. Two peas in a pod right there. Next is going to be Dave. Going a little bit off the grid here, but his affinity for this gentleman really goes pretty deep, even threatening to watch the All-22 to convince us how much of a good and reliable quarterback this guy is. I know he doesn't play baseball, but still, if Dave could keep anybody, it would be no other than Jimmy G. There, look at that nice little mug right there. Next is going to be Elu, our resident Angels fan. This player has had his entire career wasted with only one playoff appearance, and so Elu would keep this gentleman. He is very talented, but also with the hope that maybe Mike Trout could actually see some postseason baseball for once. Next, we're going to head off to Mr. Matrushka. Now, this one I had to dig a little bit deeper for, but this gentleman is really responsible for Matt's championship and to the next person's demise, and that is going to be no other than Raisel Iglesias. So as a tribute to Raizel's contribution to Matty's championship, I think he would probably keep him if he could every single year. Speaking of Millie, next, this one might be a little confusing at first. You might ask yourself, A, who is that? And B, why would he keep him? That is Seth Brown, and that is actually the current longest tenured Oakland Athletic. What great representation for such a wonderful organization. Next, we're going to move to Phoebes. I think this player has been mentioned by Phoebes more than any other player in our entire lifetimes. And so I think even though he is actually a current manager, that Phoebes would keep a prime Rocco Baldelli back from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays days if he could keep anybody on his team. Now, Gordy, honestly, might be the biggest Giants fan in this entire group. Diehard Giants fan, lives and dies by it, bleeds black and orange for sure. This next one is a little bit of an inside joke, but I think if Gordy could keep anybody, it would be the captain, Brandon Belt. And the joke about that is Gordy can't stand Brandon Belt and is probably rejoicing. But maybe after seeing Brandon go to the Toronto Blue Jays, there's a little bit of regret, and maybe Gordy would want to hang on to him for just one more year. Next is going to be Sevs, and this one was pretty low-hanging fruit. This is easily Sevs' favorite player in the league. Sevs absolutely believes this guy belongs in a big league lineup and at the heart of any big league lineup, and that's going to be Yastrzemski. Looking like he can't believe that he just swung through another fastball right down the middle there. So I think Joe would keep Mike Yastrzemski. And then last but not least, none other than your commish, finishing in 12th place last year. Being the commissioner, I really only have one idol as to who I would like to run a league like, and that would be none other than Rob Manfred. If I could aspire to run a league like anybody, it would be this gentleman right here. He is very lucky that a tournament that he has no control over, the World Baseball Classic, is currently saving his sport. That is all, gentlemen. Happy keeper selection.